Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto's News. It is me, Omar Bam, aka Crypto, here giving you the latest details on what is going on in the cryptocurrency space. A real pleasure to be back with you, offering you updates on what is going down with this FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, overall crypto industry drama that has been playing out over the last week. Man, has it been bonkers. It has been just pouring out of details, news, rumors, and it's frankly almost difficult to keep up with as everyone seems like they have something to say about it. As I pointed out, even people who have left the space for a period of time or taken breaks or weeded out came out to give their input. So I've tried to sift through some of the most important topics that I think you'll want to be aware of. So we're going to be diving into that to give you the latest and the greatest information as always. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the show or if you've yet to do so. And also remember to hit that like button. That way the algo gods will treat us well as we go into the weekend. And happy Friday, everyone. It's one of those weeks where I've just been like, thank God it's Friday in a way, because I don't know how much more of this we can take as things emerge. And I think we need a little bit of a breather here, and maybe the weekend will provide that for us. Although I imagine there are going to be some cryptocurrency firms that are going to have to be working overtime and through the weekend trying to figure out what they're going to be doing and if they're affected through this drama for their customers. So anyway, we'll see how that plays out. Right now we have Bitcoin. What's up, Amiris? What's up, everybody live, by the way? Thank you so much for tuning in. We have Bitcoin down 3.6%, but it hasn't dropped back into the $15,000 region. So that's pretty good. It has bounced back up. It's at $16,860. We have Ethereum at $1,274. It also had a sizable increase, and it's pretty much flat for the day now, only down 0.9%. Showing quite some resilience here, although I think it will matter what goes on here and what companies turn out to be affected. I think some of the biggest exchanges are showing themselves to not be having too much trouble. Like KuCoin has demonstrated that they seem to be fine and will be publishing proof of reserves. You also have products that are constantly in use like Ledger X, which seem to be fine. You have Binance publishing that they're fine. So some of the big contagion that could be going down looks like it is contained for the most part, but we'll really have to see how that plays out. But I don't know what major news could happen right now that could cause this market to drop down beyond what we've seen recently. And we did get the bankruptcy now, but we'll have to see what happens with the weekend. Some were saying that since you had stocks doing so well recently after the inflation announcement, that is some of what's been keeping crypto afloat, and we're not going to have the stock market open to correlate with, so we could see some downside over the weekend. I don't know that I really buy that. I imagine it's going to be just crab sideways for some time here. But let me know what you guys are looking at with the prices here. 11K Bitcoin coming soon. Could be totally possible, Eric. Totally could be possible. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, officially announced that they are bankrupt. That is his different companies. So he has FTX US, and Alameda. And I believe FTX Ventures is probably coupled in with this. But anyway, he wrote, "Hi all, today I filed FTX US, and Alameda for voluntary Chapter 11 proceedings in the US. I'm really sorry again that we ended up here. Hopefully things can find a way to recover. Hopefully this can bring some amount of transparency, trust, and governance to them. Ultimately, hopefully it can be better for customers. This doesn't necessarily mean the end for the companies or their ability to provide value and funds to their customers chiefly, and can be consistent with other routes. Ultimately, I'm optimistic that Mr. Ray and others can help provide whatever is best. I'm going to work on giving clarity on where things are in terms of user recovery ASAP. I'm piecing together all of the details, but I was shocked to see things unravel in the way they did earlier this week. I will soon write up a more complete post on the play-by-play, but I want to make sure that I get it right when I do. Yeah, super unraveling. You had these companies basically managing something like $39 billion worth of assets, investments, everything, and that basically going to zero, him losing his billionaire status seemingly overnight. It did happen quite quickly. It felt like FTX announced that the ex-CEO of Enron, so you might remember the Enron scandal, the guy who was the CEO during the proceedings after they went bankrupt is going to be the one that's doing this for FTX. That's John J. Ray III. Not a DJ, that's the joke. John J. Ray III has been appointed Chief Executive Officer of the FTX Group. Sam is still going to be there, even though he's not going to be the CEO anymore. He's going to be there to assist with an orderly transition. So a lot of like what's been going on with Voyager and Celsius, basically trying to find some sort of plan to make investors whole. I'm hearing that those who have equity stakes, those at the top, may have preferential treatment in this case, not necessarily just the depositors. So it's I don't know. It seems like it might be difficult to get a lot of that money back for the average person who had funds on the exchange, and there's definitely going to be some pain felt for them, and it could be a while, of course, before those funds are gotten back. Anyway, FTX US, I just saw this on BlockFi. I'm sorry, on the block, seems to have paused withdrawals on Ethereum hours after fighting for bankruptcy. So originally, FTX US was still processing withdrawals, it seemed like, which is kind of odd to me because during bankruptcy, you imagine everything would halt. But the website said that you should please close down any positions trading-wise you might want to close down, but withdrawals are and will remain open. That is no longer the case. It is surprising now that FTX US is going under. It was being said that FTX US was completely fine, that they were not tied to Alameda Research and FTX. They were a separate entity, more regulated, and the company themselves was coming out letting people know that they were unaffected, and it's just not the case. FTX US is also going bankrupt. I do wonder if they were facing a similar kind of bank run scenario after the FTX brand has obviously just come under huge fire here. So it is the case indeed that they did pause withdrawals. You can see here 3 hours and 40 minutes ago on the Ethereum blockchains, they seem to have stopped doing that. So hopefully you were able to get your funds out of FTX US after hearing what happened to FTX. So some folks had continued to withdraw money from FTX from some time after they started to face problems. After all this started to go down, it looks like, friends and families were still basically able to take money out. People who were KYC'd in the Bahamas where the company is incorporated continue to withdraw money, but that has been stopped here. The SEC, or the SEC version of that, the Securities Commission in the Bahamas, has basically took action to freeze the assets, is written here, of FTX Digital Markets and related parties. So the party related to withdrawing money has come to an end, which is a good thing if they are going to try to conserve capital for people who are going to be due that money, right? Not have it just pouring out of the exchange, try to figure out what's going on here, who's going to do what, not put any sort of priority on that. I think that sounds like the fair thing to do here. You had some shenanigans going on. For the most part, you had shenanigans related to Tron tokens being withdrawn, shenanigans related to people in the Bahamas, and Kobe here had some suspicions of what was going on because he noticed that there was an address that was withdrawing, that there was millions of Tether that was being withdrawn from FTX and being sent to this Ethereum address. Over $21 million had been withdrawn, and his theory was that apparently this is a Bahamas account withdrawing other people's funds for them. So if you weren't in the Bahamas, had funds at FTX, you were trying to figure out what to do here. I had even seen earlier that some were trying to attract folks who work at FTX that might be able to help them withdrawals, offering them huge sums of money for the assistance. They are likely bypassing the internal balance transfers block by selling NFTs on FTX's NFT marketplace. Example, Bahamas account creates an NFT, the stuck user buys the NFT with their full balance. So kind of a loophole to get the money out of there. So that does now seem to have stopped here with firstly the order from the Bahamas Securities Commission, and now with the bankruptcy. Good. Surprised that this went on for so long. Eric wrote, I didn't get my money out because they were never in shady exchanges. Oh, only cold storage for me. Hell with all exchanges. Good for you, man. Glad to hear that, Eric. So BlockFi was another one. This is an email that I received today when I woke up. Dear BlockFi clients, as always, we want to provide important updates to you about our business as transparently, empathetically, and quickly as possible. We are in the heartbreaking position of sharing the following news with you. We are shocked and dismayed by the news regarding FTX and Alameda. We, like the rest of the world, found out about the situation through Twitter. Given the lack of clarity on the status of FTX.com, FTX US, and Alameda, we are not able to operate business as usual. So BlockFi was very much like Celsius, offering yield on deposits. I had used them briefly back in like 2018, but I took my money out of there a while ago, and I had mentioned that on the show as well. It just didn't seem like they were operating in the best way. They did manage to go on for quite some time, to be honest, longer than I had thought. I thought that with some of the DeFi drama, especially this summer, they would have had more issues, but they were getting bailed out by FTX. Now that is just not going to be happening. Hopefully you've been able to get out of BlockFi if you were still in there or had ever had any funds in there. So on 2 they wrote, our priority has been and will continue to be to protect our clients and their interests. 3, until there's further clarity, we are limiting platform activity, including, this is the scary one whenever you hear it, pausing client withdrawals as allowed under our terms. We will share more specifics as soon as possible. We request that clients not deposit to BlockFi wallet or interest accounts at this time. We intend to communicate as frequently as possible going forward, but anticipate that this will be less frequent than what our clients and other stakeholders are used to. So basically, peace. Sorry, guys, your funds are gone. For further questions, please feel free to contact our client success team. Helping the clients really be successful with this one. Nice job, BlockFi. So it looks like the BlockFi appears to be completely dead. This was tweeted by Fubar. Internal Slack deactivated. People told Fubar that apparently BlockFi stored almost all of their assets on FTX. So not a surprise that they are going bust here right now. BlockFi had been trying to mitigate some of this damage. So I found this on Reddit 2 days ago from Brandon BlockFi, the community manager of BlockFi, had tried to assuage people from buying into the FUD, right? Which now proved to be somewhat true. So he had written lots of rumors floating around. Might have to change my Reddit title back to FUD Destroyer in the meantime. This isn't our first rodeo when it comes to managing risk. Like Flory said today, we run a pragmatic and diversified lending business and hold risk capital reserves to help protect against potential loan defaults. It's too bad you kept all those capital reserves at FTX, if that's true. Anyway, FWIW. BlockFi has maintained a positive net interest income for 13 consecutive months, meaning we generate more lending and yield revenue income than we pay in interest expense. Our credit facility is from FTX US, not FTX. Sorry, they're going bust too, and is subordinate to all client funds. That said, do whatever makes you feel most comfortable. Our client service team would also be happy to answer any questions. So, Brandon likely did not know what was going on here. He was likely lower level staff, just a community manager. Even some of the tops of FTX had no idea what was going on here. But I just think it would be better to stay quiet when there is talk about contagion. And if you really aren't 100% sure, you haven't done the math yourself, why would you try to convince customers, if you really care for them at all, unless you were 100% sure, to stay on the platform if there is even like 1% chance that they would lose all their money? So that I think is a big mistake here. Anyway, so contagion risk, what's going on? Should you be worried about some of these other platforms? One of them is crypto.com, the other big platform that has an arena named after them here in Los Angeles. So crypto.com did post how where they had their assets, basically, for the most part. And I think what most people are looking at here is that they are holding more Shiba Inu than even ETH. They're holding 30%, about 31% of their assets or token allocation in Bitcoin, 19.68% in Shiba Inu, a meme token that was kind of trying to piggyback off of the Dogecoin phenomena. although it has performed quite well, has sizable retail interest. A lot of people who recently got into crypto got into it through Shiba Inu. And then they have quite a little bit, if it looks like, in stable coins themselves, like USDT 5%, USDC 6.98%, and others at 20.15%. But as crypto.com pointed out, they claim anyway, we haven't actually had proof completely of what balances customers have on crypto.com. We just know what assets they have according to the wallets that we've seen from crypto.com. That apparently they hold one for one assets for their customers, and there's just a lot of interest in Shiba Inu, which is why they have more Shibu than ETH. So I don't know what that says about the clientele. I don't know if that says more about crypto.com or it says more about the people who use crypto.com. But I guess it's the most popular token outside of Bitcoin there on crypto.com. So hopefully they are fine. I don't know, but they seem to be doing okay for now. Voyager has announced that they basically have to start over their process. They were going to be bought out by FTX. People were going to be getting a really nice 72 cents on the dollar if they had lost funds, it looked like, at Voyager. Now that's being scrapped, obviously. They tweeted this out. Voyagers, as a result of the Chapter 11 filing by FTX official and FTX US, we have reopened the bidding process and are in active discussions with alternative bidders. So, it looked like, damn, you guys made off all right, Voyager. You did better than us here at Celsius. You managed to get a good plan together. You're going to get bailed out 72 cents on the dollar. Wow. You're not wasting our time with extending the bankruptcy proceedings and trying to wait even longer before coming up or sticking with some sort of plan. Just yesterday, Celsius announced that they want to extend the plan with the court or before they get the plan, that period, which is quite ridiculous with the amount of money that's being burnt here and paid to the executives. But it looks like Voyager is kind of coming back to our boat, and we'll see who, if anyone, would bail them out in the short time period. So hopefully it does happen for them. I don't like to see any sort of people suffer, of course. Sam Bankman-Fried has someone who was trying to invest in Twitter because we know that Elon Musk bought Twitter. He was trying to raise capital in order to do so. We had an investment that was confirmed from Binance. Binance had invested some money into buying Twitter, but the same kind of interest had been shown by Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and Elon Musk did not go through with them. And it's interesting when you look at this conversation that has been leaked here, April 25th, 2022. Michael Grimes working with Elon Musk. So you have Michael Grimes in the red and Elon Musk in the blue there. Michael says, do you have 5 minutes to connect on possibly meeting tomorrow? On a possible meeting tomorrow, I believe you want to take. Elon Musk said, we'll call in about half an hour. Michael Grimes, perfect. Michael Grimes, Sam Bankman-Fried is why I'm calling. Elon Musk, question mark, question mark. I'm backlogged with a mountain of critical work matters. Is this urgent? Michael Grimes wants 1 to 5 billion. Serious about partner with you. Same security you own. Not urgent unless you want him to fly tomorrow. He has a window tomorrow. Then he's Wednesday through Friday booked. Michael Grimes could do 5 billion if everything Vision Lock would do the engineering for social media blockchain integration. So he could be $5 billion basically if he was able to do this engineering to connect Twitter to some sort of social media on the blockchain. So Michael introducing Sam Bankman-Fried, founded FTX Crypto Exchange, believes in your mission, major Democratic donor, so thought it was potentially worth an hour tomorrow, a la the Orlando meeting, and he said he could shake hands on 5 if you like him, and I think you will. Can talk when you have more time, not urgent, but if tomorrow works, it could get us $5 billion equity in an hour. Elon Musk said, blockchain Twitter isn't possible, as the bandwidth and latency requirements cannot be supported by a peer-to-peer network unless those peers are absolutely gigantic, thus defeating the purpose of a decentralized network. Oh, I'm so proud of Elon Musk saying that in such a way. Anyway, and then he disliked Michael's previous post there. Michael wrote, got it. We'll forward the equity interest email to Jared and Alex that he sent in and have it in the queue in the event his interest is needed overall. Absent the blockchain piece, he's focused on investing if you want his interest in Twitter and your mission, but we can park him for now. So like, it's cool. He still kind of wants to invest. It doesn't have to be like he builds the next Twitter on social media for you, but he might help. We won't want to help you buy Twitter. Elon goes, so long as I don't have a laborious blockchain debate, I would imagine he's probably exhausted with those. Anyway, Michael goes, agree was one piece of equation. I do think he would be at least $3 billion if you like him and want him, maybe more. We'll work with Jared and Alex to be sure it makes sense to meet. My instinct is it does not, because Orlando Bracco also declined today in the end. Not sure if political fears or what, but he flaked today. Elon goes, strange that Orlando declined. Please let him know that I would like to talk and understand why he declined. So Elon shows an interest in speaking to this Orlando character. But he does not seem so sure about Sam when he goes, does Sam actually have $3 billion liquid? Michael says, I think Sam has it, yes, and proceeds to speak up Sam. He said up to 10 billion at one point, but in writing he said up to 5. He's into you, and he specifically said the blockchain piece is only if you liked it and not going to push it. Orlando referred Sam's interest to us and will be texting you to speak to say why he, Orlando, declined. We agree Orlando needs to call you and explain given everything he said to us and you. We'll make that happen. We can push Sam to next week, but I do believe you will like him. Ultra genius and doer builder like your formula. Built FTX from scratch after MIT physics. Second to Bloomberg in donations to Biden campaign. So here's Elon Musk's response to all this being posted on Twitter today. Accurate. He set off my BS, my bullshit detector, which is why I did not think he had $3 billion. Wow. A little bit of drama there. Drama. Anyway, this is apparently what it looks like in Miami if you were to fly a few hours ago over FTX Arena. You can see that they are dismantling here in this photo the FTX sign that was put on top of the roof of the arena itself. So this is also confirmed here on CoinDesk. They speak about a joint statement that was issued on behalf of the Miami Heat that plays there and the Miami-Dade County, announcing that they were cutting ties with the now disgraced Bahamas-based crypto exchange effective immediately. The reports about FTX and its affiliates are extremely disappointing. Miami-Dade County, where I grew up, and the Miami Heat are immediately taking action to terminate our business relationships with FTX, and we will be working together to find a new naming rights partner for the arena. So this was supposed to be a 19-year deal. I almost laughed when I saw a deal. I'm like, who does something? Crypto's so volatile. Who does such a deal for 19 years? These arenas, I guess. But it's only gone 2 years into that deal before it has been dismantled. So crazy. So this is someone who's been being picked on quite a bit right next to Sam on Twitter. I just wanted to show you this one, which I thought was interesting. She was the CEO of Alameda Research. What were they researching? I don't know. Anyway, why would you want to trade on a DEX when you could just trade on FTX or whatever? People are just unearthing a lot of what she said in different interviews, but
well,
here you go.
What's the point? Like, why would you want to trade on a DEX? You can just trade on FTX or whatever.
I just wanted an excuse to show that part of the meme. But yeah, I mean, she is just trending everywhere. I'm not going to get into some of the wilder specifics people are talking about related to some conduct on beanbags in $200 million mansions where everyone at the top of FTX is supposedly romancing each other. She had a relationship with Sam Bankman-Fried under some kind of influences. Anyway, that's kind of the fun here. But I just wanted you guys to kind of know who she was, and that's Caroline Ellison, who was the one who had originally pitched to Binance that, hey, we'll buy those FTT tokens. We discussed this earlier in the week for $22. Now we know why she was trying to hold that line there for $22. And that's why everyone's kind of picking on her partially as well. We got a new update from the dev here, DBI. I thought that DBI, by the way, I thought that it was not even real. I thought it was some sort of like imaginary token. I think that don't buy Inu, DBI is actually a real token now. But I still appreciate the comedy that's being issued here daily, it feels like, by the dev.
The people we trusted most turned out to be frauds, operating giant exchanges out of orgy houses, paying $10 billion for pussy. Now more than ever, we need transparency. We need honor. We need a token you can bring home to your mom. A token that'll look your dad square in the eyes and shake his hand. Because crypto is in a sticky situation. And moving forward, there's only two options. My way or the highway.
Yeah, that ending when I saw it this afternoon, it got me. My way or the highway. So again, we're gonna have to see how all this plays out as we wrap up a wild week in crypto. I think this has been the wildest week that I can imagine, where it's just been consistent bam after bam after bam of news and conjecture here. Really wild to see this happen in the throes of a bear market, of a winter. It looked like it was coming to an end, but now that's even being called into question. You can see all these different investments that they may be tied into here between Alameda, FTX, FTX US, FTX Ventures. They have acquisitions, they have investments into companies that are known and unknown. You have names here like Consensus Investments. You have Polygon. You have Solana. You have Trustless Media, Voyager, Sunday Swap Labs. You have Ledger X. You have Liquid Global. Hopefully, some of the bigger names are proving to be fine as well. Here, even more of them. They even have some NFTs, some high-level NFTs, like even Crypto Apes that they might have to, or BAYC, the Yacht 8 Club. You guys know what I'm talking about. The apes, they hold a bunch of those too. Those might have to be liquidated as we go through here. I'm not entirely sure. Now everything's basically frozen with bankruptcy, but we have to wonder about contagion. I know that's a big word, but I think there's a reason people are talking into it. They even have investments, it looks like, into 1inch. There's a lot of names that are familiar in this space that you might be involved with too. So tread carefully here and be careful. As we head into the weekend, I'll leave you with a quote of the day, a funny quote of the day, just to leave it somewhat light. Sometimes I wonder if all of this is happening because I didn't forward that email to 10 people. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Please share the video, get it out there, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay cryptic. Peace.